That's interesting.
And now it's done.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to tonight's council meeting. Roll call, please.
Brewster.
Here.
Walters.
Here.
Warden.
Here.
Ewert.
Here.
Clothier.
Here.
Horton. Here. Myers.
Here.
Thompson.
All right, so the invocation tonight will be given by Jennifer Jones from the Haysville United Methodist Church. Welcome.
Let us pray. God of wisdom and justice, we gather to seek clarity, fairness, and unity for our community. Grant this council the insight to make decisions that uplift every resident and courage to act with integrity and the humility to listen with open hearts. Bless our city with peace, safety, and opportunity, and guide us toward choices that honor the common good. In the name of Jesus Christ we pray. Amen.
Amen. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, so we have a special order of business tonight. We have several. The first will be a proclamation regarding Child Abuse Prevention Month. So I'll go and read it, then I'll meet you up there. This is a mayoral proclamation, Child Abuse Prevention Month, April 2026. Whereas every family and child is filled with tremendous promise and possibility, we all have a collective responsibility to prevent adverse childhood experiences, ACEs, foster the potential of every child, and promote positive childhood experiences, PCEs. And whereas families who receive the support they need before a crisis occurs are better equipped to provide safe, healthy, and nurturing environments, leading to children who are safer, healthier, and more hopeful about their futures. And whereas primary prevention of child abuse and neglect can reduce the lifetime economic burden associated with child maltreatment. And whereas effective child abuse prevention activities succeed because of the partnerships created between child welfare professionals, education, health, community, and faith-based organizations, businesses, law enforcement agencies, and families. And whereas investments in prevention initiatives, such as home visiting programs, family strengthening policies, economic supports, and community-based child abuse prevention efforts are essential to building safer, healthier communities for children and families. Now, therefore, I, Russ Kessler, Mayor of the City of Haysville, Kansas, do hereby proclaim April 2026 as Child Abuse Prevention Month in the City of Haysville, and urge all citizens to recognize this month by dedicating ourselves to the task of improving the quality of life for all children and families. Proclaimed today, the 13th day of April, 2026. I'll meet you at the podium. So I do appreciate you both coming, and
We appreciate this. Thank you.
so you're welcome. Actually, we're going to get a picture.
Oh, perfect.
All right.
Excellent.
About to say who you are and who you represent in that.
Yeah, if you don't mind.
Oh,
yeah,
definitely.
Yeah.
Appreciate being here.
Yes, thank you. So thank you for inviting us today and for signing the proclamation declaring Child Abuse Prevention Month. My name is Rachel Harper. I am the Assistant Director of the Prevent Child Abuse Kansas chapter at Kansas Children's Service League. And standing here with me is...
I'm Randy Lane with Department for Children's Family. I'm the Community Engagement Administrator.
And so Kansas was the first state to establish its own chapter 50 years ago. KCSL is also the Kansas chapter of Circle of Parents and a multi-site system of Healthy Families America. April has been recognized as Child Abuse Prevention Month since 1983, with the blue pinwheel adopted as the national symbol in 2008. Each year, KCSL, along with our community partners, coordinates statewide activities, provides support, and strengthens local efforts to raise awareness. Together, we work to foster community action and promote policies that ensure the safety and well-being of children and families.
The national theme for this year's Child Abuse Prevention Month is Pinwheels of Possibility, celebrating the limitless potential of children and families when communities come together to support them. The spinning pinwheel shows us what support can look like when we put families at the center of that. Each turn represents the networks, programs, policies, and everyday acts of care that strengthen them and help them thrive. From home visiting to health and economic policy, every turn unlocks new possibilities, showing how supportive systems and communities expand what's possible for every child and family. In many ways, the pinwheel is also a call to action, highlighting the shared responsibility all our cross-sector partners have in centering families. Families, communities, policymakers, and organizations must work together to provide economic and social support, including affordable childcare, paid leave, and financial stability, community-based solutions, ensuring access to local resources and networks, and stronger prevention policies with investments that uplift families before harm occurs. Prevention isn't just about avoiding harm, it's about creating opportunities for families to thrive. Positive childhood experiences, including stable relationships and nurturing environments, help children thrive and mitigate adverse childhood experiences. Prevention is hard work, but it's also hard work. So to celebrate Child Abuse Prevention Month, you can help plant a pinwheel garden. It's a visual reminder of the world we want for all children to grow up happy, healthy, and prepared to succeed. And thank you again for having us and for signing the proclamation.
Sure, definitely happy to have you both here today, and appreciate the pinwheels that you left up here, so.
Yep.
Appreciate that.
Thank you.
All right, next will be item B, proclamation regarding Public Service Recognition Week. So Public Service Recognition Week, May 3rd through the 9th, 2026. In honor of millions of public employees at the federal, state, county, and city levels. Whereas public servants at every level of government perform essential roles and work tirelessly to uphold the safety, well-being, quality of life in our communities. And whereas Public Service Recognition Week is an opportunity to express gratitude and appreciation for all the hard work and commitment of our public servants across all levels of the government. And whereas public servants work tirelessly with dedication, integrity, and compassion to uphold the public good, inspire trust and confidence, and enhance the quality of life for all residents. And whereas public servants represent a diverse array of occupations, including but not limited to accountants, public transportation workers, technology professionals, administrators, planners, laborers, analysts, clerks, educators, inspectors, parks workers, public utility workers, social workers, and countless others. And whereas many public servants, including military personnel, police officers, firefighters, and others, risk their lives each day in public in service to the people of the United States. And whereas some public servants are very visible in the community, others work behind the scenes to ensure that services are available to residents and processes are open and accessible to the public. And whereas without these public servants, continuity would be impossible in a democracy that regularly changes its leaders and elected officials. Now, therefore, I, Russ Kessler, Mayor of the City of Haysville, Kansas, do hereby proclaim May 3rd through the 9th, 2026 as Public Service Recognition Week in the City of Haysville, and encourage all residents to join me in honoring and recognizing the dedication, professionalism, and sacrifice of our public servants at all levels of government. Proclaimed today, the 13th day of April, 2026. So I do very much appreciate all the public service, especially at the city level. So without you, it'd be the city would be not working correctly, right? So definitely appreciate everything that you guys do. All right, next we have a proclamation of Arbor Day. Official proclamation, whereas in 1872, the Nebraska Board of Agriculture established a special day to be set aside for the planting trees, and whereas this holiday, called Arbor Day, was first observed with the planting of more than 1 million trees in Nebraska, and whereas Arbor Day is now observed throughout the nation and the world, and whereas trees can be a solution to combating climate change by reducing the erosion of our precious topsoil by wind and water, cutting heating and cooling costs, moderating the temperature, cleaning the air, producing life-giving oxygen, and providing habitat for wildlife. And whereas trees are a renewable resource giving us paper, wood for our homes, fuel for our fires, and countless other wood products. And whereas trees in our city increase property values, enhance the economic vitality of business areas, and beautify our community. And whereas trees, wherever they are planted, are a source of joy and spiritual renewal. Now, therefore, I, Russ Kessler, Mayor of the City of Haysville, Kansas, do hereby proclaim May 4th, 2026 as Arbor Day in the City of Haysville. And I urge all citizens to celebrate Arbor Day and support efforts to protect our trees and woodlands. And further, I urge all citizens to plant trees to gladden their heart and promote the well-being of this and future generations. Dated today, the 13th day of April, 2026. So speaking of Arbor Day, I'll bring it up later as well, but as I mentioned, Arbor Day would be celebrated on May 4th at 5:15 over in the Historic District. All right, next we have item D. Haysville Chamber of Commerce presents Recreational Department with the Champion of the Year Award. Welcome, Deanne.
Thank you. Good evening, Mayor and council members. I'm Deanne Conkle with the Chamber of Commerce, the Executive Director. And Josh Wagner, our chair, could not be here this evening and he sends his regrets, so I get to do the honors. And you know, most of you know me, I don't usually need the notes to speak. I can usually say what I want to say pretty easily. However, I want to make sure that what we said the night of the banquet is given out here tonight so Rob can hear. The Haysville Chamber of Commerce held its annual Community Stars celebration on March 28th and handed out several awards. The Business of the Year award was presented to Golden Plains Credit Union. The New Business of the Year was awarded to Wag Swag's Print Shop. The Volunteer of the Year went to the deserving couple of Tom and Brenda Gibson. And the Chair's Award went to Lindsey Brown with Farha Roofing. Our last award was the Community Champion Award, which recognizes those who go above and beyond to strengthen our community. A strong community is built on connection, care, and opportunities to come together. When we think about what makes the community thrive, we think of places that bring people together and the people who make those places feel like home. The Haysville Activity Center is one of those places. From fitness and recreation to social events and daily connections, the staff of the HAC create an environment where community truly happens. Their impact is felt every single day in Haysville. It is more than just a facility. It's a gathering place where friendships are formed, health and wellness are encouraged, and people of all ages feel very welcome. The staff's commitment to serving our community helps make Haysville a better place to live, work, and play. On behalf of the Haysville Chamber of Commerce, I'm honored to present the Community Champion Award to the Haysville Activity Center. They go above and beyond. We have our chamber meetings over there. Rob always takes care of setting up tables, chairs, cleans up. So they are great for our community, and we couldn't be more proud for them to receive this award.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, Josh owes me big time now.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Deanne.
Thank you.
Congratulations for the hack. All right, next we have presentation and approval of minutes. Minutes of March 9th, 2026. That's for support.
Make a motion, we approve the minutes as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the minutes of March 9th, 2026 as presented. Any discussion? Question, please.
Brewster,
Yes.
Walters,
Yes.
Rodden,
Yes.
Ewart. Yes. Clothier. Yes. Barton.
Yes.
Myers.
Abstain.
All right, next we have item 1, public comment. Marla McGovney.
Yes.
Did I say that correctly? The Child Start, regarding Child Start services and mission. Welcome.
Thank you for inviting me here tonight, and I do have my little pinwheels out in our front of our little Head Start too, because we also do the child abuse and prevention. But just a little bit about our program. I assume that's what you called me here for. We serve 50 children at this new location here in Haysville. We do need staff. If anybody knows anybody anybody that'd love to go into early childhood. But we're here and we recruit, and it costs nothing for the parents to attend our program. I did bring some flyers like what I would do if I recruited, because that's what I normally would do. And I will leave those here with you. And we serve full day, 4 days a week, 7:30 to 4:30, Monday through Thursday. The kids are with us 9 hours a day, birth to 5 years old. Does anybody have any question? I mean, I could tell you the whole history of Head Start, but I don't think you want me to hear that one.
Well, tell us your location.
Our location, I did not bring that address, and I do not have it memorized. It is the old daycare that was here forever that somebody else had. I'm so sorry, I don't have that. I have your address, but I don't have mine. 984 Grand. Yes, that's it. Thank you. I look at it every day on my phone. But I have some business cards being made, and it will be on there, so I'll make sure everybody here gets one. But yes, we're there, and we have plenty of kids, so they're signing up every day, and they have to be income eligible to qualify for our program. So we serve the lowest income families in the community, but they get a very good education through Head Start. Does anybody have any questions about any of that? I wasn't sure what you wanted from me, so I just...
Well, just come, tell us about yourself, and do appreciate the open house you had.
Yes, you were there, correct?
I was.
I believe you were in the picture. Yes, we did have an open house, and I personally have, I started working for Kansas Children's Service League in 1998, working with early childhood, and then I got laid off from there after 14 years, and then I worked in long-term care for a few minutes, 8 months, and then I came to Child Start, and so I've been in Harper County for I started in 2014. So, but I'm happy to be here. I live in Cunningham. I know I drive a long ways, but I do it for the kids. I'm not ready to give that up yet. So when we transferred, that was an opportunity, and I wasn't ready to give that up yet. So I love the kids, and we're all about safety. Safety's our first priority. So child abuse and prevention, we're mandated reporters just like everybody else, and we do not mind making those reports because it's for the safety of the kids. So that's where my heart is, and that's where I've been all this time. And come and visit us. Come and visit the site. They remodeled it. It's a nice place for kids to attend now. They're still working on the playground. We do have playground equipment, but still have some improvement there to make for planting some good grass and stuff. So we're always asking for donations because we also get in-kind for. So just really fast, the government gives us 75 cents of every dollar, and the 25 cents of that dollar we get either back from the parents or the community. And the parents do it by reading to the kids or helping them set the table. They fill out little papers every day of time they spend with their children, and that's in kind. And all of that's 100% on your taxes if anybody ever donates or gives anything. So you may see me again asking for, some grass or something, but whatever we might need along the way. But we're just getting here. We just started January the 20th. I'm just getting familiar with the community. So far, I love everything that I'm doing. So, but if you ever have any questions, please come see us, call me, ask. We will be happy to answer them.
I appreciate being here tonight, and I appreciate Child Start being in the city of Haysville.
It's a good program. Thank you all for having me.
All right, thank you. All right, next we have item B, Steve Miller, 311 East Riley, regarding extended fireworks sales time frame.
Yeah, well, I'd like to thank everybody for allowing me to be here tonight. And I'm Steve Miller. My wife and I have operated a wholesale fireworks building since it opened 26 years ago. We use, right now we've been using Campus Link crew to help us during the fireworks season, and this year we're going to be using the men's and women's wrestling team to help us out. So service the community there. But anyways, I'm here on behalf of the celebration of the nation's 250-year anniversary. This will be going to be the biggest fireworks season ever, 4th of July. And what I'm asking is to extend the sales time frame just by 3 days. 2 days prior to, so it would be the 25th and 26th for open to sales fireworks. And then July 5th, by state law, it would be able to sell and shoot off if that was permissible by you guys. Anyway, what the benefit to the city would be to help increase the city's revenue by being open longer. And then surrounding communities are all getting on board this year, like Goddard. They've already okayed at Andover Valley Center, and several communities are talking about extending the season permanently. But anyway, that's what I would like to see, just extend the season by 2 days. The first 2 days would be selling only per state law, and then the July 5th would be sales and shooting if permitted by the council. All right, thank you very much.
All right, thank you. Thank you for coming. All right, next we have item 2, approval of licenses and bonds. We have none. Item 3, introduction of ordinances and resolutions. A, an ordinance vacating the minimum pad elevation within Lot 1, Block A, and K addition. Kelly?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. So this first request has actually been withdrawn by the applicant, so no council action is needed. It was withdrawn because the vacation is no longer necessary, since we won't be removing anything from the plat, just correcting the elevation through the attached affidavit, and that affidavit does not need council approval to be filed. With that, I can stand for any questions on that one.
All right, so it will be removed. So what you're requesting? Josh, do we need to vote on that? Or-
No, I just think that they don't want to move forward with it, so,
Okay.
yeah, I think we're good.
All right, sounds good. Thank you. All right, with that, we will move on to item D, an ordinance denying a request for vacation of a portion of the platted utility easement of a certain real property located within the city of Haysville, Kansas.
So this vacation was reviewed by the Planning Commission on March 26th. It's for that utility easement along the east property line. The applicant is requesting this vacation because they built an accessory structure in the easement without a building permit and are thus in violation of our city code. The vacation request is proof of intent to resolve this violation. The affected utility providers, specifically Evergy, oppose the vacation because there's infrastructure in the easement that serves other properties. However, they don't oppose the accessory structure remaining in the easement as long as the structure will be removed when Evergy requests it. The applicant has been informed of this, and they also know that any costs associated with removal will be theirs to bear. So with that information, the Planning Commission did recommend denial due to Evergy's objection and the need to preserve the utility easement, and noted that the existing structure remains at the property owner's risks and subject to future enforcement or removal if required. The staff report, the minutes, and the site plan for the proposed vacation are attached, and I can stand for questions.
All right, anybody have any questions for Kaylin, or would anybody like to make a motion to just deny the request for the vacation? Councilman Mars?
I'll make a motion to deny the request of a vacation of the portion of the platted utility easement of a certain real property located in Haysville, Kansas.
Second.
So a motion and a second to deny this request as presented. Any discussion? Question, please.
Brewster,
Yes.
Walters. Walters,
Yes.
Barton,
Yes.
Ewert. Yes. Clothier. Yes. Parton,
Yes.
Myers.
Yes.
All right, next we have item C, a resolution of the city of Haysville, Kansas, authorizing conditional use to prevent the construction and operation of a vehicle storage yard on the west one half of Lot 1, Block A, Haysville Industrial Park Edition, Haysville, Sedgwick County, Kansas.
So this conditional use request was also reviewed on the 26th, and the Planning Commission recommended approval with staff's recommended conditions. Those conditions are that a detailed site plan be approved by the Planning and Zoning Administrator, addressing in detail the extent and use of the entire property, including the uses for outdoor areas on the property, access to the property, and fence height, location, and material. The property will also have to comply with all special use conditions for vehicle storage yards, and the storage of inoperable vehicles is not allowed. Those special use conditions refer to the all-weather surface or gravel that is required for the storage and the solid screening of the property. Both of those conditions are currently satisfied, but the applicant does intend to add more gravel to the lot and replace the existing fence with a solid composite fence. The staff report and minutes are attached, and I can stand for questions.
Anybody have any questions for Kaylin, or like to make a motion to approve the resolution? Councilperson Parton.
Make a motion, we accept the resolution as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to accept the resolution as presented. Any discussion? Question, please.
Brewster,
Yes.
Walters,
Yes.
Barden,
Yes.
Hebert. Yes. Collier. Yes. Parton.
Yes.
Myers.
Yes.
Next, we have item D, a resolution of the City of Haysville, Kansas, authorizing a conditional use to permit the construction and operation of a new 60-foot tall tower for a wireless communication facility on Reserve A, Grand Avenue Industrial Park, 3rd Edition, Haysville, Sedgwick County, Kansas.
This final resolution was also reviewed by the Planning Commission on the 26th of March. The Planning Commission recommended approval, provided that anti-crime safety measures or measures to prevent unauthorized access and documentation of compliance with all applicable FCC regulations regarding radio frequency emissions were provided. Public Works, our applicant, has proposed constructing a fence to meet those safety measures and anti-crime provisions. They've also provided staff a copy of their FCC license. I can stand for any questions.
Councilperson Parton.
So even though we made this tower behind us put up a solid fence, are we gonna put up a solid fence? Okay.
Any other questions for Caleb? Anybody like to make a motion to approve this resolution? Councilman Martin.
Make a motion to approve the resolution to the intended.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve this resolution as presented. Any discussion? Question, please.
Brewster,
Yes.
Walters, Barden,
Yes.
Hebert. Yes. Collier. Yes. Parton.
Yes.
Myers.
Yes.
All right, next we have item 4, notices and communications. A, governing body announcements. Are there any announcements from governing body? Councilman Brewster?
Yeah, I've got the Haysville Community Library, their monthly calendar. Tomorrow is Holocaust Remembrance Day. On April 15th at 4 p.m. is the Lego Club. April 19th through the 25th is National Library Week. April 22nd is Earth Day. April 23rd is International Book Day. Also on April 23rd is at 10:30 is Parents' Teacher Story Time. Then at noon is the Chamber of Commerce Library Luncheon, which is always pretty good. And then on April 30th, we also have 3 events at 10:30. Will be Parents' Teacher Story Time. At 5:30 p.m. will be Friends of the Library Board meeting. And then that evening at 7 p.m. will be the Library Board meeting itself.
All right, thank you.
Yep.
Any other announcements? So some upcoming senior center announcements. The commodities will be April 15th. Easter dinner will be April 17th. Women's fair outing is April 24th. Recurring events, coffee and conversation, games, crafts, bingo, exercise classes, Alzheimer's support group, and line dancing.
Getting ready for line dancing.
Line dancing.
Yeah, they're line dancing, sorry.
So we also have the T-shirt design contest is still going on for the 75th anniversary. So if you have any ideas for that, please submit those to the city by this Wednesday. April 25th, Chief may say something about this, but it's a drug take back and the paper shred event. It'll be right out here in front of City Hall. That's from 10 to 2 p.m., 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., April 25th. Arbor Day, I mentioned that earlier. The tree planting will be May 4th at 5:15 p.m. in the Historic District. So I encourage everybody to come on out there for the tree planting. I know some scouts will be out there, so it's always a good time. The Mayor's Prayer Breakfast will be on May 7th at 7 a.m. Tickets are $12. That will be at the Hack. The tickets can be purchased either through City Hall or area churches that are members of the Haysville
Ministerial Association.
Yeah, thank you. Haysville Ministerial Association. And same day, which is the National Day of Prayer, it's always on the first Thursday of May. So at noon, the HMA will be doing the ceremony in front of the police station. So I encourage everybody to come out to that as well. All right, let's see, next we have item B, memo regarding new business licenses. We have a couple in there. Item C, Sedgwick County Fire Department Station 34 monthly report. It's in your packet. Item D, presentation of economic development strategic plan and assessment. So we have Friends University with us tonight. So if you'd like to kind of say who you are and who you're with.
Okay. Just want to introduce yourself first? And
Yeah,
then
yeah. Hey, my name is Sander. I am from Norway, and I'm a senior at Friends.
I'm Kelsey Kinderberg. I'm from Wichita, Kansas, and I'm a junior at Friends.
Hello, I'm Grant Wagoner. I'm a junior at Friends, and I'm from here in Wichita as well.
Hello, my name is Nicholas Foley. I'm a senior at Friends University, and I'm from Clearwater, Kansas.
And I'm Rachel Steiner. So as Mayor Russ Kessler mentioned, we are with Friends University with the Center for Enterprise and Community Engagement. And we were tasked with Will and Danielle and Mayor Russ Kessler to look at updating the economic development plan and assessments and provide some recommendations. And so what we have done in looking through the 2025 community survey, the 2024 retail study, the 2023 housing study, and 2024 housing grants, along with creating our own survey that we submitted to the city with the help of Danielle and the Chamber of Commerce. We got some feedback from that as well. So you guys should have in your packets updated SWOT analysis that we completed on getting feedback from a few here at the city, and as well as the surveys that we've had. And then we're going to go through a couple of recommendations that we have for you. So.
All right. First of all, thank you so much for having us. This has been a fun project to work with. Yeah, been a pleasure to get to know Haysville a little bit. So first of all, I'll keep this short and sweet. I know you guys have a lot of important information to go through, so we'll move pretty quickly here. Our first recommendation is regarding the gas station economic leakage that was addressed by Retail Strategies, which is kind of a consulting firm that comes in and helps communities with developing their downtowns and such. And they analyzed the economic situation here in Haysville and the area around it with a 5-mile radius, and stated and concluded that $100 million each year leaves the Haysville area because the residents are spending that money in either Wichita or Derby or other nearby communities instead. That's a lot of revenues for a community as your own, and we wanted to kind of dive a little bit deeper into that and how you could address it. So, in our survey, we asked the residents here how many people are actually getting their gas here. And only 36% of the survey takers fill their gas in Haysville. And we thought that, so there is a demand and supply gap here, obviously. So adding an additional gas station in Haysville that is more tailored towards the demand, and according to our study, 72% of residents would want to fill their gas, more likely to fill their gas in Haysville if there was more options here. And they were very optimistic towards a quick trip. However, we have addressed that there might be some concerns and maybe getting them in here. But we think that this gap is so substantial that it's worth pursuing nonetheless. And people want it on Seneca. So the Vickers petroleum station is actually pretty nicely placed. The only problem is that it doesn't serve gas, right? But if it was, people would likely love it.
Yeah.
Okay, on to the next one, social media. So Haysville, you guys post a lot across multiple medias, and it's a lot of information. It's a lot of flyers informing the residents of Haysville. But we would love to see more engagement with the community. And we think that this is a great opportunity for you guys to connect more with the community and get the word out there for people even maybe considering moving into Haysville of how of a great community you guys are, right? So out of the last 25 Instagram posts. So we did Instagram, but this is a trend that we see across all platforms since February 20th. There are 23 flyers, 2 photos, and 0 videos. Out of those 23 flyers, 18 got 0 likes. So not a lot of traction, which is common for flyers. But then you get 2 photos. You have the police officer of the year, 54 likes. And you got Mayor Russ taking the Mayor Youth Leadership Council to the Capitol, 90 likes. So yeah, seeing more of that. So we want more of the faces of the community, maybe even some videos, interviewing the businesses, interviewing the community, and getting the word out there, more engaging content. And the solution to that would be to hire a part-time, either a high schooler or a marketing major college student, which would be a fairly low wage cost to you guys, and we think it could create a lot of traction. And we're going to talk about the image of Haysville, and we think that this is going to play a huge part in that as well.
Hello. So my recommendations have to do with family entertainment, an ice cream shop, and then a restaurant. I'm sure it's no surprise to you that the city of Haysville is very family oriented. In our survey that we conducted, every single one of these retail businesses, the people wanted it to be a family sit-down place. It varied from 79% to 83%, but they go to outside of Haysville, to Wichita or Derby, to have family entertainment, ice cream shop, and restaurant. And that's a big percentage of revenue that is taken away from the city of Haysville. For family entertainment, community events, bowling alleys, mini golf, and movie theaters were really popular picks on our survey. For ice cream shop, Brahms and Dairy Queen were the popular picks. And then for a restaurant, locally owned was the first desired place, and then next Chick-fil-A. And then the next recommendation is regarding housing, and it's an affordable housing movement. So in the Community and Economic Development Survey conducted in 2025, feedback on question number 15, if you or someone you know is looking to purchase a house, what range are you looking, or are you or they looking for? And an overwhelming response was between $100,000 and $200,000 for a single family home. This price range has not really been on the market in Haysville. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Kansas Health Foundation, but Kansas is experiencing a housing crisis, and the Kansas Health Foundation is one of their initiatives this year is focusing on through impact investing and just grants improving affordable housing throughout the state of Kansas, particularly in rural areas. And while Haysville might not be considered rural, it has several advantages, including available land, a highly desired school district, and strong child care provision. So these are all things that the Kansas Health Foundation would love to see in a partner. And historically, affordable housing projects can be more challenging to implement, as they are often more time intensive and require additional administrative work, making it difficult to attract contractors. But again, to address this, Haysville could offer targeted incentives to encourage developers' participation, and then partner with Wichita Area Builders Association to help support the development of affordable housing projects within the community.
Alrighty, so I'll make this short and sweet. I've got 2 more, but they're good things. So the first one is in our survey that we sent out, we found that your residents love the community events that you host. So you do the Christmas Village, we do 4th of July, lots of different events. I'm sure they're all looking forward to the new one coming up, the 060, pretty soon. And I think that's something that you guys should continue working towards to get more people in the community out and about. One thing we did notice is there is a little bit of a gap kind of in the first quarter, which gets a little bit hard with the weather. But if you can find a way to do something indoors or maybe something outside in the afternoon, in the first quarter, maybe March, spring break time, trying to do something like that. And then the other one is childcare. So like you guys heard earlier, Child Start is now here in town, and they're going to help fill a large gap. And Kansas only has about 40% capacity for childcare, but the city of Haysville has about 80%. So if you guys can continue that, working towards that, I think that'll bring a lot of people into the city of Haysville, an incentive for people to want to live here, to have a place for their kids, but also be close to Wichita as well. So.
I'd like to start by saying thank you for letting us be here and be a part of this project. I know for us as students, it's really nice to be able to get out of the classroom every once in a while and actually apply what we learn into real life situations. It's something that we all love doing, especially going out and seeing different communities. I know for me personally, I grew up around the area, but I mean, we have Sandra here who came from Norway, and he's getting to see Haysville for the first times. But today, the two recommendations I'm going to be talking about are the initiatives alignment within the community needs and the downtown feel. I know you guys are pretty excited after that one. But starting off with the initiatives alignment, I'd say one of the biggest things with this is we need to understand what the supply and the market demand is of the individuals within the surrounding community and the community of Haysville. I think one of the biggest things that we found throughout our surveys was that the community members aren't really incentivized by the coffee shops. They're more incentivized by, say, where they can go out to, say, restaurants, grocery stores, and things like that. Something that you should regularly be doing is looking out into the community, seeing and applying some surveys to what they are looking for on an incentive basis, and this will help to bring in and retain different organizations or businesses within the city, helping the overall economic growth. And then the next part, the fun part, is the downtown feel. I know that there's been a lot of pressure within recent communities all around the world within downtowns. And one of the biggest things that they do is they implement these murals. What do these murals do? They show the history. You don't have to go to a museum. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but when was the last time we all went to a various museum of a surrounding community that we were not involved in? I think one of the coolest things about murals, signage, and other facts that you can see driving through a small town is you can get a feel and an understanding of the people who surround themselves within these communities and the individuals who are involved within it. I think this would be very helpful and something that you could also have help through high school members or collegiate members within marketing to help you see what driving factors are within your history and build your community. Thank you.
All right, and then the final recommendation that we're going to discuss is community branding. And so kind of playing on the community events that you guys, that your community really loves and feels, and every survey kind of mentions it. Danielle has it in a lot of the reports. It's just something that comes up very often. And so how can we keep moving on that? And one thing you guys are doing is Party in the 060. And so kind of playing on that is creating a branding with an 060 initiative. And so a couple things that we have come up with is developing and installing welcome to the 060 signage at key entry points throughout the city. Create and promote a consistent social media hashtag the 060 to build digital identity and recognition. Launch a local business branding program so that businesses could have Shop 060 in their windows, or 060 certified, some kind of window display or window decal. Proud to be 060, some type of promotional support. Adding some discounts to businesses for residents, or creating like an 060 loyalty program where if they visit 5 local businesses, they can get some type of reward, just helping them shop and stay local. That will help drive some of the business here in Haysville. Organizing more community events. We've talked a lot about that. So Party in the 060 clearly kind of incorporates the brand already, but some additional ideas would be maybe a 6 p.m. summer series event to kind of play on that 060, where you have food trucks, music, movies, activities, things like that at your parks. And then incorporating the 060 identity into key development areas like your Meridian corridor for marketing and recruitment, things like that that you could do. We've mentioned a few times, and we're not pushing this, I promise, but we kind of are partnering with local schools and universities to develop some of the branding materials, murals that Nick talked about. We see that a lot in a lot of the downtowns. But there's some really incredible graphic design students at a lot of the universities. Haysville has them as well at the high school. So just really getting some of that involved. Promoting local businesses and residents through ongoing digital content. We talked a little bit about that earlier. Sandra mentioned your social media engagement. How can you do 060 stories and really get to know some of the residents and some of the businesses and doing some of those things through social media. Developing branded merchandise, shirts, stickers, signage, different things like that. Just again, promoting the 060. And then really the big thing we thought about, if you think about Wichita and some of the things they've done, the Keeper of the Plains, right? They have that. The businesses get to paint that to kind of signify what the business is, but it's also a landmark to Wichita, and so you recognize that as you go through town. If there was a way to do some type of 060 where each business could have their own kind of painted mural, or if it was wood sign or metal sign or something like that, but they could kind of put their own kind of touch to it through something like that, having them in parks or at the entry points of your town, photo opportunities, different things like that, just to really get that 060 out there. So those are some of our ideas I know you have. You should have the full packet in front of you. Again, as I mentioned, thank you guys for giving us the opportunity to be here and to do this. It's extremely important for the students to learn some of that theoretical knowledge that they sit in the classroom all the time, but to be able to apply that into real world practices. And so this was a really good thing for them to do and to study and kind of dive deep into some of that. So thank you for allowing us to be here and to provide these recommendations.
Thank you. Councilman Myers, you have
Thank you so much for doing your work. That's an awesome little research project you guys did. A little bit of feedback on everything, not everything, but a couple key points that I took. The gas station on Seneca. So I live on Meridian, so I have two excellent gas stations over there, but that's a very good point that Seneca could use a gas station. The hard part about that as a city is we don't dictate who builds what where, right? So I think the only thing that we could do as the governing body would be maybe talk about doing like an incentive program, like, okay, let's do a grant or something like that for a new gas station in whatever location on just Seneca. I don't know if, I'm sure we could make it be just Seneca. We write the rules, right? The marketing student position, that brings up a really good point. I like that one as well. And just marketing in general, like Goddard actually made a post like last week. Public Works made a post where it was silly. It was like the workers doing a silly dance with lights and stuff. And I've seen a lot of libraries, police departments, all the different sections do silly videos on Instagram. And I'm watching videos from people in like Idaho. You know what I mean? Like it's not even local thing. So that's, you know, it gets the word out there even if it's people beyond the local area, right? So that's definitely a good idea. I don't know how much technicalities that would be with hiring a part-timer through this university or school, but that's an excellent idea. The ice cream and eateries, we already have grants for that. Once again, we can't dictate who builds what where, but we are trying to lure in some businesses to do that. So that is something that is in the works. Danielle has worked on that. We have a grant currently that is active. For the Haysville signs, we do have Welcome to Haysville signs. I have one like literally on my property, like on the corner of my property. So personally, I just fixed up the one by me, did a little garden decoration around it. I like the idea of adding more hashtag ones, like just maybe street sign kind of style ones that get you to follow the socials and stuff like that. That's a good idea. I like that. And the murals and art, myself and Councilman Bruce actually talked about murals. We were talking about potentially one of them would be the tunnel here going through underneath the railroad tracks, because right now it's just white, you know, it's like white bricks. We could paint the history, you know, the tornado, whatever else we want to put about the history of Haysville, have the seniors do it, because I'm not from here, I'm from New York. So where I'm from, my high school, the seniors every year redo the mural, right? And it's like a whole project that they do. So we could totally do a campus thing where get some donated paint or have local businesses sponsor it and have a competition at not the university, but at the high school every year and paint a mural. So that's an excellent idea too. I think that they're all really good input, and thank you for your time and your efforts.
Thanks so much.
Yeah.
Thank you for your feedback.
So, yeah, thank you all for coming here. It's great to see you all again.
Yeah.
My alma mater, Fridge University.
Yes.
Go Falcons. So yeah, definitely appreciate you coming here and providing all this input. A lot of great input. So
Thank you.
definitely.
Thank
It was fun. It was fun.
All right, next we have item E, Economic Development Quarterly Report. Danielle.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Before you is the first quarter economic development report. I have added a new section on page 21 and 22 reviewing our incentives and grant programs by calendar year over the past 3 years, including both available and awarded funding. Businesses approved but not yet meeting all requirements are not listed individually. Instead, a count of pending awards is provided. Select sections include supporting details. So for example, the facade grant section reflects that 6 of 13 applicants have been notified of awards totaling $25,000 with a combined project estimate of approximately $115,000. Funds will be distributed upon completion, at which time the recipient details can be added. I also included 2 graphs for the business lease matching grant, showing $3,425 in city awarded funding and approximately $32,000 in applicant reported capital investment. While not included in this report, an additional $150,000 in retail inventory investment has occurred as part of these expansions. And I'm happy to answer any questions.
Are there any questions for Danielle? Well, as I think all of you know, today is, this is Danielle's last council meeting. So she accepted a position someplace else. So, you will be missed, definitely. Appreciate all the work and all the energy you put into Haysville. And definitely, I will miss you. All your economic development, worldly knowledge, so.
It has truly been a blessing to be here, so thank you.
I do wish you well on your next job, so.
Thank you.
All right, next we have item F, an email from Cox Communications. It's in your packet. Next we have item 5, old business, and then item 6, other business. A, consideration of lease purchase of police vehicles. Chief.
Yeah, good evening, Mayor and Council. Before you tonight, we have a consideration for purchasing 2 patrol vehicles to replace 2 vehicles in our fleet. As we do every year, these are budgeted items to try to get maintain a effective means of transportation for the police officers to get around town and make sure that we have reliable vehicles to do that. We're seeking approval, as we have the last couple times, for the lease purchase of 2 new patrol vehicles through Enterprise Fleet Management. These vehicles will be 2026 Ford Police Interceptors and will be outfitted with emergency equipment to match the rest of our fleet so that everything stays the same. So if somebody jumps into a car in a stressful situation, the equipment's the same. They know where the buttons are, they know where the switches are, they know where they're going, what the radios do, and everything else. These vehicles will replace 2 other Ford Police Interceptors currently in the fleet, Cars 1 and Car 9. The mileage is there. Those vehicles will also be sold by Enterprise Police or Fleet Management. Sorry. So the total annual lease cost is $30,450.96, and a one-time upfitting fee per vehicle is $12,610 for a total of $25,221. Do you have any questions at this point on anything?
Councilperson Barton.
Are these patrol cars or are they
These are
detective
patrol cars, yes.
We're going to send them back to the intersection?
Well, we have purchased Dodges the last couple times. The reason for going with Fords is we want to make sure that our fleet is diversified. We have had some issues as of late with not just one vehicle, so don't get me wrong, I'm not bagging on Dodges or Fords, either one. But We had a recall where we had several Dodges down at the same time, so it eliminated almost half of our fleet. And then it wasn't a month later, and the Fords had a similar recall, and so our Fords went down. If we would have had all Dodges, we would have been in trouble. If we had all Fords, we would have been in trouble. So right now, half of our fleet is Dodges. We're going to go ahead and maintain the other half as Fords because that's the best cost-effective option. Chevy is not even an option because they're way too expensive. So that's where we're at this point. Yes, we're buying Fords instead of Dodges this time.
Well, I mean, is the Interceptor a car then, or is it an SUV?
Oh, I'm sorry. It's like a Ford Explorer. It's
Okay.
just it's the fancy police name for a Ford
Okay.
Explorer police package.
When you threw Interceptor in there,
I'm sorry. Yeah,
there was
I
the cars.
It's an Explorer without the roof rack, basically.
Okay.
And they're better cars.
Well, I know, I drive an Explorer, so.
Do you drive an Interceptor?
No, I didn't get that part.
And probably take your roof rack off or something like that. So,
Councilman Myers?
I'll make a motion to approve the proposal of the lease, the vehicle purchase.
Lease,
lease purchase.
for your lease.
I'll second.
So we have a motion and a second to approve the lease purchase of police department vehicles. Any discussion? Question, please.
Brewster,
Yes.
Walters,
Yes.
Martin,
Yes.
Ewart. Yes. Clothier. Yes. Martin.
Yes.
Minor.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have item B, consideration of lease purchase of public works department vehicles.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. If it works for you, I'll just say ditto. Just kidding. We are requesting approval to lease 4 vehicles through Enterprise Fleet Management as part of our 2026 budgeted fleet maintenance program. These vehicles will support the wastewater, parks, and water departments. All leases for us include maintenance, which provides predictable costs and reduces unexpected repair expenses. We have 2 Dodge Ram 1500 trucks, one for the wastewater department and one for the parks department. Those will run at $13,902.24 annually on a 3-year lease. The wastewater truck replaces a 1995 Chevy S10 that was taken out of service several years ago and has already been sold. The parks truck will replace an aging 1990 Chevy 3500 flatbed that is deficient and will be sold through Enterprise Fleet Management. We also then have a Chevy Colorado at $12,614.16 annually on a 3-year lease. This one will replace a 2008 Chevy Trailblazer with approximately 92,000 miles that spends more time with the mechanic. The Ford Transit van for the water department is $17,309.48 annually on a 5-year lease. This will replace our 2004 Chevy box truck with approximately 80,000 miles that is showing significant maintenance issues. This vehicle will also be sold through Enterprise. The van will serve as the primary service truck for the water department. If you're not familiar, it will be used to respond to necessary water main breaks, service line leaks, and fire hydrant issues. It will also carry all of the tools and materials necessary to respond to water distribution emergencies. The upfitting for the transit van is at $18,908.47. All of the upfitting will be paid up front through equipment reserve funds. The total annual lease cost for all vehicles is $57,728.12, and the total one-time upfitting cost for the transit van, $18,908.47. All of these items were included in the 2026 budget, and costs will be paid to the appropriate department's fund. I'll stand for any questions.
Councilman Myers?
I just have a question, like when the 3-year lease expires and we re-up it, is it the same rate or is it a lower rate?
So part of the attractiveness of working with Enterprise Fleet Management is they have the mileage of our vehicles that we run every year. So they're able, with their market, say the best time to sell the vehicle is 3 years out. So for instance, I think on most of these 3-year leases, they know that they're gonna be about 15,000 miles a year. So like some of our Dodges, Justin here with Enterprise, he's actually ran numbers on our Dodges, and we actually would make money potentially off what we bought them 5 years ago. And part of that is because what the vehicle market's done since prior to COVID. But the intent is to release. So for instance, we have an old lease that expires, we go with Enterprise, see what's competitive, what's not, see what's offering government discounts or not, and make a purchase to come back to you and say, here's a new vehicle to replace an existing lease.
And then we always have new vehicles. Or newer vehicle.
And we could always purchase it. If we want to purchase a vehicle, any of these at the time at the end of the lease, we could say, what's that purchase price?
Okay, thank you.
Are there any other questions for Tony? Councilperson Parton?
There's no more questions. I'll make a motion, we approve the lease on the 4 vehicles and the uplifting on the van.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the lease purchase of Public Works Department vehicles as presented. Any discussion? Question, please.
Brewster.
Yes.
Walters.
Yes.
Martin.
Yes.
Ewart. Yes. Clothier.
Yes.
Martin.
Yes.
Myers.
Yes.
All right, next we have item C, presentation of the 2026 street program.
All right. See if this clicker works for me. It does. All right, so quick overview. We evaluate 555 segments of pavement. The evaluation will include any surface deficiencies, including any drainage issues. Important to note, we also take photos at every segment. That's helpful if we're comparing deterioration over the time. We can look at 4 or 5 years in history to see how quick it's deteriorating. This is the actual evaluation form we use when rating our streets under the PASER system. Each street segment is reviewed visually and assigned a rating from 1 to 10 based on the specific surface conditions. We're looking at things like the type and severity of cracking, any rutting, any surface wear, and whether there are signs of base failure. The goal here is to take what can be subjective process and turn it into something that's structured and repeatable. Once we complete these evaluations across the entire network, we then use those ratings to group streets into categories to determine which streets need maintenance. This is the PASER rating system, which was developed by the University of Wisconsin-Madison. It is used nationwide to rate pavement and is on a 1 to 10 scale, with 10 being best. It also aligns with KDOT asset management training and also with the Kansas Local Technical Assistant Program, otherwise known as LTAP. What we're looking at here is a map of our entire street network. It's color-coded based on the PASER ratings we just discussed. The colors represent the condition of each street segment across the city. Typically, the warmer colors, which would be the reds and oranges, indicate streets that are in poor condition, while the greens represent streets that are in good condition. This is helpful. It gives us a system-wide view. Instead of looking at streets one at a time, we can see how the whole network is performing. This bar graph breaks down our entire street network by PASER rating and shows how many segments fall into each condition category. What we're really looking for here is distribution. A healthy system will have most of its streets in the mid to upper range. If we start to see a shift towards the lower ratings, that indicates the system is declining and future costs will most likely increase. All right, get to the projects. So these two here are 2 concrete projects for this year. The first being on the right is the entrances to the activity center in the street, just outside the approaches. Both concrete street area has failed, and along with the left photo is in front of the farm and art market. As I stated, both locations have reached the end of its service life. They both have visible panel failure and joint deterioration. Anytime we have a failure, especially that's not super old, we try to look at the whys. The best variables we can come up with both locations, especially the hack, has high vehicle traffic, heavier traffic, more turning on it. Also, one of the things to keep in mind, both locations, but especially the activity center, is heavily utilized. So we also want it to be visually attractive to residents and visitors. Internal cost estimate. So for both the 2 projects, we have 369 square yards, which the internal estimate brings it to $28,228.50. And I guess for both of these estimates, what I'll preface this with is we didn't just pull a number out of the air. We contacted several of the contractors in town, asked them what the going rate for removal and replacement of 6-inch thick concrete. Mill and overlay. First off, what is it? It's the removal of the top layer of asphalt, and it places a new asphalt surface over the existing roadway. It does maintain the existing base and the overall roadway structure. Why do we do it? Why do we use it? It restores the ride quality and the smoothness. It extends the pavement life by 10 to 15 years. It addresses some of the surface deficiencies, which would be cracking, rutting, and other system failures. It's more cost-effective than full reconstruction. Here's what we have for the mill and overlay projects this year. We have a total of just under 50,000 square yards with the internal estimate at $744,975. Some of these were like on Apple, we're fixing some drainage issues as well with the project. Blossom, I may point out, is the Orchard Acres area where the internal residential streets have been totally reconstructed, and for some reason we left a small stretch on Blossom. This is just a quick map of the overall mill and overlay project areas. When we evaluate these, we try to look at traffic counts. Also, it's preferred to try and spread out the repairs throughout the entire city as best we can. Recommendations and next steps, kind of what we're looking for today is to approve the street program as outlined. At that point, we'll start working on finishing up a request for proposals and advertise that to contractors, and then present that to council for approval. I can stand for any questions you may have.
Councilman Myers?
Tony, I know you guys have the tar truck. How often do you like go out and how effective is it to go out and seal some of these cracks if they're starting to grow? Like say Meridian, it has a couple cracks running across it here and there.
So one of the most important things, actually I'll say the most important thing you can do at a road surface is make sure water does not get underneath it. We do have a crack seal machine. The issue being is staffing. We start that up, one of my guys has to come in about 4 or 5 in the morning to actually start it, because it takes 2 to 3 hours for it to warm up, and then go out and do the work. It's about a 4 to 6 person job. 2 years ago, we actually contracted out some of our crack sealing. That's probably the preferred option. We're actually talking to the engineers if we have a road project, like let's say Lakeville gets done, is it effective, efficient, and smart to have that contractor seal that road on the sides from the get-go? Because if you have asphalt meeting up with valley gutter concrete, it's going to crack right away. There's going to be a gap there. Should we crack seal it immediately? So those are some of the things we're working on. Mill and overlay is good because it basically crack seals the entire road.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay. And do you have an air truck, like an air compressor truck, to clean out ahead of time?
Yeah,
You do.
we have a trailer, yes.
Okay, yeah. Or trailer.
Yeah, so years ago, I'm gonna take a guess, maybe 10 years ago, we used the crack sealer and the air compressor quite regularly. And what that amounted to when it came to staffing, we stole several guys from the wastewater department, we stole several guys from the water department, maybe 1 or 2 from the parks department, then we had the 2 or 3 guys from the street department.
Oh, okay.
At that point, almost the entire public works is doing street maintenance.
Yeah.
And
Okay. Yeah.
It's not efficient use of employees.
Contract it out.
Any other questions for Tony? If not, somebody would like to make a motion to approve the 2026 street program as presented. Councilperson Parton?
I make a motion, we approve the street maintenance program as outlined.
We have a motion and a second to approve the street program as presented. Any discussion? Question, please.
Brewster?
Yes.
Walters?
Yes.
Barton?
Yes.
Ewert? Yes. Clothier?
Yes.
Parton?
Yes.
Myers?
Yes.
All right, thank you, Tony. Next, we have item D, consideration of playground equipment for Kirby Park. So in your packet is the proposal for the new playground equipment from Playworld for $49,103. This was approved at the last park board meeting. Councilman Myers.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I did go and inspect this park, and yes, absolutely, this place that needs replacement. Additionally, I noticed that the baby swing sets are faded, and one is delaminating, and both could use replacement. However, this purchase does not adhere to our purchasing policy. This playground is not integrated into any of the existing equipment, which includes a swing, a seesaw, and merry-go-round, which are not being replaced. There is no requirement for compatibility beyond standard clearance distances. The age of the old equipment is likely well out of warranty window, so I don't see any validity in that claim that the warranty, that we want to get it all under the same warranty. I see no reason as to why this is not put out for competitive bid to ensure our taxpayer money is spent in a responsible manner according to the purchasing policy. I do not feel the excuse that competitive bid would not be adequate is acceptable. Having one company propose 3 options is not a competitive bid. Without a competitive bid, there is no telling if this bid is fair or not. I recommend we refer this back to the park board and have them source 3 quotes from 3 different companies for a similar playset to ensure the competitive pricing and transparency. I understand going through one vendor, especially a vendor that we have dealt with in the past, can be convenient, but in this instance, I see no inadequacy in the project going to bid.
Anybody have any comments? What would council like to do?
I make a motion to send it back to park board for a proper bid.
All right. Without a second, this motion fails. Anybody else like to make another motion? Councilman Warden?
Make a motion to approve the playground equipment purchase.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the playground equipment for Kirby Park as presented. Any discussion? Question, please.
Brewster.
Yes.
Walters.
Yes.
Martin.
Yes.
Ewart.
Yes.
Clothier.
Yes.
Parton.
Yes.
Myers.
No.
All right, next, item 7, department reports. A, administrative services. Will.
I have nothing.
Item B, city clerk, Angie.
I have nothing.
Police, chief.
I'll always get up and talk, so.
Drug take back, Angie.
As the mayor mentioned earlier, we do have our drug take-back event on the 25th of April out here from 10 to 2. They're also going to do a shred event in front of the city building, so if you have old prescription drugs or whatever you need to get rid of, those can be taken over there at the PD. If you're shredding paper, that'll be up here at the city building, so hopefully it'll be a smooth drive through the parking lot to figure out where you need to go. As far as for the drug take-back, we want to let everybody know, don't bring any needles or sharp objects, liquids, or inhalers or vape pens that have batteries in them. That can be dangerous for staff, and when they incinerate that stuff, they don't go through it to see what's in it, they just incinerate it. So be careful of that. Don't put any batteries in there, please. That would be bad. The other thing we have coming up is on May the 2nd. Is that right? No, it's May 3rd. 2nd.
4th, I think.
Second.
Yeah. I don't know why I have 2 different dates on my paper. It's on May 2nd, Saturday, May 2nd. We're going to do our car seat check that we do every year from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. So if you need to have your car seat checked to make sure that it's installed properly, or if you have an old worn out car seat that you're just not sure if it's still safe anymore, you can bring your vehicle over here with the car seat in the car, and preferably the child in the car, so that way we can check it out, make sure it's the right fit for the child and like that, and they can help you get those installed correctly. We have a lot of technicians on staff here, and they are just excited about getting out there and doing some car seats. A lot of times when they go through training, they have pretend babies that they put in there, but doing it with real kids in there is a little bit different. Adds a little bit of fun to it, so they get to do that. Sometimes the kids may not have a lot of fun with that. And lastly, but not least, is our visiting officer this evening, Officer Jairo Camarena. He's out here. Say hi to him as you go by out there. He's currently assigned to the night shift as one of our officers, so say hi to him when you go by out there, and that's all I got.
Do you have a flyer yet for the car seat check?
We do have a flyer, yes.
Can you get it out on Facebook so I can share it?
We sure can, yep, we can put it out there.
All right.
All right, thanks, Chief. Next, we have item D, Public Works. Cody?
It's starting to warm up, so the recycling center at Public Works will begin its first Saturday hours on April 25th from 10 a.m. to noon. Just as a reminder, the items must be coming from a resident that resides within the city limits of Haysville. Also provide an update on Lakeville development off of Meridian and 79th. Last week, the contractor has installed the base asphalt and also constructed the sidewalks. The remaining items include the surface asphalt, final grading, and the water services to each parcel. So, thank you.
That's a heck of a pond they got out there. It's like, and they're putting, how many houses are in here?
59. All right, thanks, Tony. Next, item E, Recreation. Rob.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Also on April 25th, we'll be having our party Neo 60 from 3 to 9 p.m. in Riggs Park. Bands, food trucks, cornhole tournament car show will be a good time. And then Splash Pad will open for the season on May 1st. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Rob. All right, next we have item 8, appointments. A, appointment of John Burke to the library board for the remainder of the term. Councilman Warren.
Make a motion to appoint John Burke to the library board for the remainder of the term.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to appoint John Burke to the library board for the remainder of the term. Any discussion? Question, please.
Brewster.
Yes.
Walters.
Yes.
Rodden.
Yes.
Ewert.
Yes.
Clothier. Yes. Harton.
Yes.
Myers.
Yes.
All right, next we have item B, reappointment of reappointment of Ron Hurley to the library board for a 4-year term. Councilperson Parton.
Make a motion, we reappoint Ron to the library board for a 4-year term.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to reappoint Ron for a 4-year term to the library board. Any discussion? Question, please.
Brewster.
Yes.
Walters.
Yes.
Rodden.
Yes.
Ewert.
Yes.
Clothier.
Yes.
Harton.
Yes.
Myers.
Yes.
Next, we have item C, appointment of Jared Mortensen to the planning commission for the remainder of term. Planning commission, right? Yes, that's it. Councilperson Parton.
I make a motion, we appoint Jared Mortensen to the planning commission for the remainder of the term.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to appoint Jared Mortensen to the planning commission for the remainder of the term. Any discussion? Question, please.
Brewster.
Yes.
Walters.
Danny.
Walters. He's frozen.
Bingo.
Walters. I know.
He's frozen.
I think we lost one. So.
Is he freezing again?
Okay. Rodden.
Yes.
Ewert.
Yes.
Clothier.
Yes.
Harton.
Yes.
Myers.
Yes.
All right, thank you. Next, we have item 9, executive session. Executive session for attorney-client privilege not to exceed 15 minutes. Councilperson Myers.
I move that we recess into executive session under KSA 75 4-319B Section 2 for consultation with the city attorney, which would be deemed privileged. Such session to also include Josh Pollock, Will Black, and Tony Martinez. The open meeting shall resume here in the council meeting room at, so the time should be
8:32.
8:32, okay, PM.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to go into executive session for attorney-client privileges not to exceed 15 minutes as presented. Any discussion? Question, please.
Brewster.
Yes.
Walters. Rodden.
Yes.
Ewert.
Yes.
Clothier.
Yes.
Harton.
Yes.
Myers.
Yes.
Will.
I'm good.
I'm good.
All right, we are back from executive session. No binding action has been taken. Do we want to,
Add it to the list.
Councilman Morton?
So Mayor, I make a motion that we add to the agenda the water contractual from the city of Derby.
We have a motion. Is there a second to add an agenda item? We have a motion and a second to add an agenda item on a contractual agreement with Derby. Any discussion? Question, please.
Brewster?
Yes.
Gordon?
Yes.
Ewart?
Yes.
Clothier? Yes. Horton?
Yes.
Myers?
Yes.
So our next item is the motion that was just made to, for the contractual agreement with Derby.
Now we're just looking at making the motion to repay those costs as presented.
Okay. Okay. So I'll make a motion that we reimburse the city of Derby for contractual, for their reimbursement for the water that they worked on.
Second.
In the amount of?
In the amount of $149,217.43.
Second.
So we have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? All right, question, please.
Brewster?
Yes.
Gordon?
Yes.
Ewart?
Yes.
Clothier? Yes. Horton?
Yes.
Myers?
Yes.
All right, thank you. So next we have item 10, review of expenditures. Summary of March expenditures. Councilperson Ewart.
Yeah, I move to receive and file the March expenditures.
Second.
A motion and a second to receive and file the March expenditures. Any discussion? Question, please.
Brewster?
Yes.
Gordon?
Yes.
Ewart?
Yes.
Clothier? Yes. Horton?
Yes.
Myers?
Yes.
All right, next we have item 11, consent agenda. We have several items on the consent agenda. Councilperson Horton.
I make a motion we approve the consent agenda.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. Is there any discussion? Question, please.
Brewster?
Yes.
Gordon?
Yes.
Ewart?
Yes.
Clothier? Yes. Horton?
Yes.
Myers?
Yes.
All right, next we have item 12, council items. A, council concerns. So I'll start this off. So in your packet is an email from Councilman Myers. I do not appreciate all the misinformation and accusations in his email and all the alleging of wrongdoing. After I received this email, I followed up with League of Kansas Municipalities Director, Nathan, to find out what was discussed. He said that Eric spoke to two attorneys, and he said there could be a potential conflict of interest, but he would have to work with their city attorney, should be Josh, to assess whether or not there was a national conflict. The league attorneys did not say what Councilman Myers said. The attorneys did not say what Councilman Myers said in the email that's in your packet. These are false accusations in Councilman Myers' email. This was already discussed during our January and February council meetings, so I'm not sure why you want to keep bringing it up. Several of your motions have failed due to lack of second. You have mentioned to me if the makeup of the council changes with new council members after the next election, you're going to bring it up again, try and get it passed. So I don't know if it's something that Councilmember Myers has against Tim Azer, because they ran against each other in the council position, or what. Last December, Councilman Myers asked me to suspend any further permits associated with the developments that PEC or Tim Azer had worked on. Councilman Myers also wanted Tim Azer removed from the Planning Commission, and wanted myself, the Planning Commission, Will, and all of council to go through remedial training or conflict of interest. Some of those did not make it into the motion. They also wanted me to call a special meeting during that time frame. I told them I was not going to initiate it, but provided the city code to follow if he wanted to initiate it. He also wanted me to appoint himself to Planning Commission if allowed. Was not going to do that.
Yeah.
When I stepped down, and Councilperson Parton stepped down, Ruby got on council. All this information needs to stop. You're quick to condemn city staff and council. I think we're tired of it. We're now talking about something that has already been discussed. So let's talk about tree farm. I know you brought up tree farm before to us, or through emails.
Can we stay on the first topic first, or?
No. So next I'd like to bring up the tree farm that we used to have. Councilman Myers wanted the city to plant hundreds of trees in the parks and wanted the tree farm expanded. Councilman Myers also was told that we're not going to continue the tree farm and the reasons why, which was the cost. Myers also wanted to donate hundreds of saplings or bare root trees to the city plant, to have the city plant. There are several species that the city does not recommend for us to plant because in Kansas to the climate. So at the February Park Board meeting, Councilman Myers told the Park Board that Tony was in favor of the tree farm. Again, misinformation. I told him a couple of times that we're not going to keep the tree farm open. I told Councilman Myers again in March that we are not going to use the tree farm approach at this time. Instead, we are going to focus on planting larger trees, which should benefit residents sooner rather than later. Some of these benefits of planting larger trees are achieving a level of shade due to a larger canopy, achieving a sense of structure and scale, especially for a larger park like Dorner, and avoiding the vulnerability smaller trees have due to accidental damage. This time, the Public Works Department is planting a manageable number of trees. Like I said, all this misinformation and accusations of city staff, appointed board members, and council members needs to stop.
So first off, I don't appreciate.
Councilman Myers.
Yeah. So first off, I don't appreciate saying that I'm lying. That the attorney at the League of Municipalities didn't tell me what they told me. They absolutely confirmed that we were breaking the code. So I'm sorry that you don't want to accept that fact. And I'll start with that first. We'll start off with it. So I bring back this topic to council upon identifying that the city has allowed PEC to violate our own ethics code, section 1-111. I didn't realize that this was in the code. Previously, I talked to the Board of Municipalities attorney, and they said there's no state statute because state statute stops at elected officials. Well, our city code goes beyond that. The purpose of the city engineer is to have a third-party engineer review of the projects to ensure that it is within compliance of our current construction code and our city code. I have spoken to an attorney, I already said that, hold on. Mr. Pollack, could you please verify that I'm correct in my findings that PEC engineer did in fact violate our ethics code in approving these two plats? In approving these two plats?
What plats, Mr. Myers?
I'm sorry, I missed that part. Approving the Coppertail plat and the County Plaza plat as a city engineer that were submitted by PEC as well. So PEC was the company that was submitting them as the engineering company, and then the engineers that we hire as the city engineers are PEC employees as well, and they approved of them as the city engineer. And if you read in front of you, the highlighted section, which everybody has, an employee, which includes contract employees, may be deemed to have a substantial interest which prohibits the employee or public official from handling or participating in a transaction if any of the following are present. So they are an employee of PEC. They're getting paid probably $80,000 or more from PEC, so therefore they have a substantial interest, and they therefore should not be handling or participating in a transaction with the city. They should, as you said, they should abstain from any decision making. Councilwoman, pardon. But would you be able to verify that or review it and come back to us on it, or how does this work? I'm not sure. So
if the council wants me to give an opinion, then the council needs to vote and ask me to do that, and then I'll provide legal opinion.
Okay, so the council needs to vote of whether or not you're going to give us an opinion of we're following our own code. Is that how it works?
I'm sorry, Mr. Myers, I told you this before.
Yeah.
The city attorney works for the city,
Yeah.
not for a
I'm
specific
just
council
verifying that.
member.
Okay.
So if you want to make a motion for
Okay.
council to instruct me to do something, I'm happy to do that if I'm so
Okay.
instructed.
So for the sake of transparency, I make a motion to have the city attorney review this and see if we are in fact breaking the city code.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for the city attorney to review, will state exactly what you would like.
Oh, to review the PEC engineers, ethics code violation of section 1-1, approving the Coppertail plat and the county and plaza platting as a city engineer.
All right, so we have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Question, please.
Brewster,
Yes.
Barton,
No.
Ewert,
Yes.
Clothier,
Yes.
Yes.
Harden.
Yes.
I just, yeah.
Thank you.
I just guess.
All right, so that motion passes.
That way it's answered.
So from here, you come back next council meeting with results, or can you review it now?
I thought you just asked me to give a legal opinion.
Oh, yeah, is that, yes.
It doesn't just happen at the snap of a finger.
And that's what I just asked you.
Yeah.
I just asked you, is it going to be at the next council meeting?
I will have your opinion by the next council meeting.
Okay, thank you. Okay, and then on the tree farm. Okay, so. Recently, the mayor informed me that he does not want to continue the tree farm program, but instead buy 25 to 40 mature trees with a retail price of $400 to $600. That price I obtained from Tony. That's $10,000 to $24,000 annually before we even factor in the labor or maintenance. This proposed increase presents a major budget increase, and I oppose this being our long-term plan. The tree farm, located behind Public Works, had 323 baby trees planted in 2016. Public Works has been pulling from this inventory over the years, including the recent projects, and it is now depleted. Included in that tree farm program was a tree transplanter, which we have used frequently to harvest and relocate trees from the farm into the city. Public Works recently removed 36 trees from the farm into Dorner Park. This project would have cost $18,000 if we sourced the trees at $500 each. As you may know, planting more trees across the city and maintaining the trees without increasing the budget is one of the things I ran on. As council members, we are stewards of the land, and entrusted to us, we are also the city's largest land managers. Historically, for our tree program, we have spent $27,000 to $28,000 annually. Tree City USA program requires $2 per capita, approximately $24,000 a year in the tree programming, tree program. That historically, we have spent $5,000 to $10,000 in tree removal, $4,000 to $17,000 in management, yet only $1,800 to $3,000 was spent every year on average in new tree plantings. In 2024, we spent on average only $56 per tree. I have no doubt that this is only because some, if not most, of the trees came from the tree farm. The issue now is that the source is depleted, and I feel we should replant. From conversations with Tony, that did happen about replanting the farm, because he did talk to me about that when I did the Public Works tour. He said that he will do as the council wants. He wasn't for it, or I didn't say he was for it or opposed it, but I said that we talked about it, and he was, when I talked to him, talking about planting more trees and talking about expanding the trees. Those conversations did happen. Whether or not you want to say it didn't happen or not, whatever. So, from those conversations, it sounds like Public Works has a seasonal labor gap between taking down Christmas decorations and the beginning of spring projects. That downtime could be used productively for tree farm planting and upkeep. Replanting the tree farm with the Kansas Department of Forestry trees would cost around $1.50 each, or $500 for 300 trees, the same cost as one mature tree. These trees are typically 1 to 3 feet tall and will be large enough to transplant in 3 to 5 years. With the tree tubes for protection and proper irrigation, survivability can be in the 90th percentile. With a plant as we harvest program, we would save hundreds of thousands of dollars over the years and be able to plant 10 to 100 times more trees on the same budget. From both a business and a taxpayer standpoint, it makes more sense to utilize the equipment we already own, the tree transplanter, and invest in growing and transplanting our own trees rather than paying full retail every year. We already have the tree transplanter. If we own the equipment, we should use it. A tree farm is not just a cost-saving measure, it's an investment in the long-term beauty, identity, sustainability of our city. If we're serious about planting 40 trees a year, I believe keeping the tree farm active is a responsible way to do it, and we should plant a new round of trees and continue the program. So, I don't know if anybody else has any input on this. I'm just talking to myself.
Any other council members have a concern?
I have a couple things I want to talk about.
Sure, Councilperson Spartan.
Okay, Tony, on K Street between the trailer park and that's first stop sign, going west on the north side, there's 3 parking signs. 2 are completely faded and one's almost gone. If we could get those fixed.
Absolutely.
The other thing I wanted to talk about was Steve brought up the wholesale, or this fireworks thing. I don't see a problem with extending it. And I'd like to see us extend at least the July 5th permanently, because even if we don't allow them to shoot on that day, because all the towns around us they sell on July 5th. Some of them shoot off, but you can buy fireworks for New Year's.
Right.
So I know that part would have to go through code, but just the one time, the 25th, 26th, and the 5th, do we have to go through code?
I think we have to change the code because it's in the code.
Just for one time?
I think the
He
dates
wants to do
are.
it all the time.
Well, but specifically, he wanted to do it for this year, the 25th and 26th.
Exactly.
I don't really want the 25th and 26th because it's a sell-only days in the state of Kansas, and they'll start popping it, so I don't want that to be permanent. But I'd like to see the 5th be permanent. So I don't know how we need to do that.
So you want to change the code, just make the one change effective just for 26?
Yes.
We can do that if that's what
Okay.
you're going to propose.
Can we get that written up?
Please.
So the first 2 dates, the sell-only dates just for this year. but
Just
the
for this
5th
year.
Permanent, right?
Right.
Okay.
And would the
Like we
times
said-
be the same too? I'm assuming the times of selling would be, what, 8 a.m. to 10:30 p.m. on those 2 sell dates?
Yeah.
On the
Just for
the
this year.
25th and 26th, okay.
With no shooting.
Well, that's state, you can't shoot on the
Yeah, I know
25th and
that.
26th, so.
They buy them.
And the 5th, we could do till like 10, if we won't do shoot.
Okay.
Not that they stop it yet, but that's what the code would say.
So Josh will bring something back in the next council meeting.
Do that.
Any other council members? Councilman Myers?
Yeah, I just wanted to clear the air about Tim Azier. I was mistaken. I was wrong. I misunderstood the code that, about abstaining or whatever. I thought that he couldn't be the chair of meetings that had to do with the topic of his company, because he is employed by PEC as well. So I do apologize for that, and now that it is public, I will make sure that I reach out to him to let him know that I do apologize, and I was wrong. So yes, and you could have just told me, hey, by the way, you know, Councilman Myers, take a look at this, but instead you let me keep going. So I would blame part of that on you, that you let me keep going with that and didn't just say, hey, let me show you what's actually going on here and explain it to you, but you didn't. So yeah, that's all I have. Thank you.
No problem. All right, any other council members have any other concerns? If not, item B, council action request updates.
I'm gonna get out of this.
We have none. Item 13, adjournment.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
A motion and a second to adjourn tonight's meeting. Any discussion? Question, please.
Brewster.
Yes.
Martin.
Yes.
Hewitt.
Yes.
Collier.
Yes.
Parton.
Yes.
Meyer.
Yes.